On a clear night, if you know where to look, you can see it. Not white like most stars, not blue-white like the brightest ones, but red. A warm, steady, distinctly reddish light, hanging in the sky with a quality somehow different from everything around it. Not twinkling. Solid. Planetary. Mars. Human beings have been looking at that red light for as long as there have been human beings. We have known for several centuries that it is a world. We have been photographing its surface for 50 years. We have driven robots across its plains and ancient riverbeds. And still it holds us. The more we know about Mars, the more powerfully we feel drawn toward it. Tonight we spend time with Mars, with what it is, what it was, what we have found there, and what it might mean for our species' future. Let yourself settle. Let your breathing slow. And look up in your mind's eye at that warm red point of light. Mars has a day almost identical to ours, 24 hours and 37 minutes. Its axial tilt is almost identical to Earth's, producing the same 4 seasons we experience. Olympus Mons is the largest volcano in the solar system, 3 times the height of Everest, with a base the size of France. Valles Marineris is a canyon system stretching nearly 4,000 kilometers, 4 times the depth of the Grand Canyon, long enough to span the entire width of North America. The most haunting thing about Mars is not what it is. It is what it was. Around 3 to 4 billion years ago, there was liquid water on Mars, rivers and lakes, and possibly a shallow ocean covering much of the northern hemisphere. We can see the river valleys it carved, the delta deposits it laid down, the minerals altered by prolonged contact with liquid water. Mars lost its global magnetic field about 4 billion years ago. Without that protection, the solar wind stripped away the Martian atmosphere, particle by particle, over hundreds of millions of years. Temperatures dropped. The rivers and lakes froze. And then the ice sublimed away. A world that may once have been alive became the cold desert we see today. And the question of whether anything survived, that transition remains unanswered. Is there life on Mars? We do not know. The Perseverance rover, currently driving across an ancient lakebed, is collecting rock samples for return to Earth. Expected back in the early 2030s, they will be subjected to the most intense scientific scrutiny in history, because the stakes could not be higher. The first human footprint on the Martian soil will be one of the most significant moments in the history of our species. Not only because of what we will find there, but because of what it will mean. That we went, that we were curious enough and brave enough to cross the void. Something in the human spirit needs to know that the adventure is not over, needs to believe that the frontier is not closed. Imagine standing on Mars. The gravity is about 38% of Earth's. You feel light. The sky is not blue, but a pale butterscotch pink. The sun is smaller than you are used to, somehow diminished, more distant. And overhead, in the Martian night, you could look up and find a blue star. Not where you would expect it, smaller than you remember it, but recognizable. Home. 200 million kilometers away. But there, blue and alive in the dark sky of another world. Let your breathing slow. You are safe. You are resting. And somewhere out there, in the cold and the dark between the worlds. That red light is waiting, as it has always waited. Good night.